Hi, I'm Russell Ray, Managing Editor of Power Engineering Magazine and Chairman of PowerGen International. As you can see, PowerGen International is well underway here in Orlando, Florida. We have about 1,400 exhibiting companies this year, and we're expecting more than 21,000 people to walk through the doors here at the Orlando Convention Center. We had a great keynote session this morning, which included 4 keynote speakers. We had Peter Delaney, Chairman, President, and CEO of Oklahoma Gas and Electric.
I just think about the relevancy of the grid, keeping our grid relevant. And I don't know about where you sit, but there's an awful lot of talk about going off the grid. You see it everywhere. It refers to, people camping talk about off the grid. They talk about, secret discussions off the grid. They really romanticize being off the grid. And that makes me nervous. I'd rather, there's a country western song about being off the grid. I'd like to have some songs about being on the grid, right?
We had David Dunning, Group President of Fluor.
Global supply chain is another interesting opportunity, and we have to be smart about how we leverage that. I know at Fluor we spend on average of $20 billion a year. Well, we need good partners in that business to bring those to the owners such that pricing is competitive, quality is high, and to make sure we're not depleting the supply and the sub-supply chain in the process.
Amy Erickson, the president of Alstom US, spoke about the uncertainties facing power producers in today's market.
Now, it's not like we've seen another dash to gas, but we are certainly seeing a slower and deliberate and long-term march to gas, one that's very good for our country.
And Jim Rogers, the chairman of Duke Energy, was recognized as the industry's most influential person.
I am really honored to receive this recognition. I look back over my career, and when I started, I never dreamed I would get this kind of recognition. This just shows what happens when you hang out for a very long time. And today, and I thought Pete did a wonderful job of framing the challenges we face today, but in the broader context of the utility monopoly, the reality is our distribution monopoly is being challenged. And that's the state of play.
The first recipient of PowerGen's Woman of the Year award was announced Monday night. Rhea Prasad, the founder and president of StatWeather, was selected Woman of the Year for providing power producers better tools to predict the weather and manage risk. Prasad will speak Thursday at a luncheon hosted by PowerGen's Women in Power Generation Committee. After Tuesday's keynote session, we sat down with Amy Erickson, the new president of Alstom US. We discussed a wide range of topics, including the role of natural gas and the benefits of more flexible generation.
Here in the U.S., it's all predicated upon the discovery of new resources, which is not insignificant. It is huge. And it is driving a lot of industries, the petrochem industry, LNG industry, and we're going to see some increase in industrial power load, which means some power generation growth. And the most economic solution right now for new power generation is natural gas.
To see the entire interview with Amy Erickson, go to our website at www.power-eng.com. Sharon Dotson has been covering the events over at Nuclear Power International. Sharon sat in on the mega session that took place Tuesday. Sharon joins us now with an update.
Thanks, Russell. We're standing just outside of the exhibit hall where today started the mega sessions for Nuclear Power International. The afternoon session was about different nuclear projects from around the world, kind of giving an update on just what's going on. The speakers touched on the different technologies, the different policies, and also how they both affect just all the projects from around the world. They also spoke a little bit about Westinghouse's AP1000 reactor, how it is being used not only in projects here in the U.S., but also in a couple projects in China. Tomorrow's sessions promise to be just as good, so be sure you're there for the morning session that starts at 9:30, as well as the afternoon session that starts at 1:30. Back to you.
Thank you, Sharon. I had a chance to learn more about an exciting new technology developed by Siemens Corporation. The Flex Plant Combined Cycle Power System is now up and running at 2 locations here in the U.S. Omar Rubio of Siemens tells us more about the benefits of the Flex Plant. Omar, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
The Flex Plant Combined Cycle System has been successfully installed at 2 locations. Can you tell us where and how those projects are performing today?
Well, both projects are one in Lodi in California and El Segundo also in California. Both are operating and commercially operating since 2013 for El Segundo and 2012 for Lodi. Both of them are working great. They're load following for renewable technologies. They both have flexible technology. They are part of our Flex Plant family, and they're able to load follow and start fast. So they're operating great.
And I understand that this technology has some really exciting features. I understand that it uses a lot less gas and that the cooling system is quite unique. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. El Segundo, for instance, that's our very low water consumption plant, which is a dry plant. It uses an air-cooled heat exchanger that uses a lot less water than a typical combined cycle power plant. And because of that, it's able to operate very efficiently.
Omar, tell us a little bit more about some of the features of this technology. I understand it uses a lot less gas than conventional units, and I understand that the cooling system is rather unique. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, as a flex plant, El Segundo, it uses an air-cooled heat exchanger. And because it uses an air-cooled heat exchanger, it's a dry plant. It uses very low water consumption, and as part of our flexible technology, our Flex Plant technology, is suitable to integrate with renewables quite easily. That's why, as a combined cycle, it's a more efficient cycle and reduces also startup emissions. It starts fast. It's able to give you power in less than 10 minutes. One of the units will give you 150 megawatts in less than 10 minutes, because we have 2 units, gives you 300 megawatts in basically less than 10 minutes.
It really sounds like it makes a lot of sense on many levels. As you know, it's all about fast and flexible generation. How fast and flexible is the Flex Plant?
As I said, it's able to provide you 300 megawatts in less than 10 minutes. The entire plant is able to get to base load in less than an hour. Basically, it acts. Basically, it's a combined cycle acting as a peaker plant.
And as you said, it's an obvious complement to the increasing supply of wind and solar power.
Absolutely, that's the intention, and that's why these 2 units are operating in California. We expect some more to be operating elsewhere soon.
Very good. Omar, thank you for your time. Appreciate it. On Monday, the editors of Power Engineering and RenewableEnergyWorld.com announced the winners of the Projects of the Year awards. It was a great night of celebration and recognition of some of the industry's greatest power projects. American Electric Power's ultra supercritical John Turk Power Plant in Arkansas was selected the best coal project. Florida Power and Light's combined cycle project at Cape Canaveral received the award for best gas-fired project. FP&L won again for best nuclear project for an expansion of the utility's Turkey Point plant. The best wind power project went to Minnesota Power's Bison Wind Project, and the best solar project was awarded to the companies behind the electrification of 57 remote villages in India. To learn more about these and other winning projects, be sure to pick up the January issue of Power Engineering magazine. Well, that's it for now from PowerGen International. I hope you get a chance to stop by and see all of the amazing innovations on display here in Orlando. We'll be back tomorrow with more coverage of PowerGen International. You can also follow this week's events on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. For Power Engineering Magazine, I'm Russell Ray.